welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and a puzzle today by HalfBakedLunatic, which sounds daunting indeed. I don't know how much lunacy is involved, but I do know that it harks back to one of my favourite series of books, one of my favourite characters from fiction of all time, Sherlock Holmes. This puzzle is called Sherlock's Advice to the Good Dr. Watson, and it's based on that sort of famous scene from the Arthur Conan Doyle novels where Sherlock is explaining to Dr. Watson how to solve crimes, and basically he says it's just eliminate the impossible and whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. And that is an intriguing thought when it comes to solving Sudoku. So somehow or other, this puzzle is going to evoke these emotions, which is, it sounds a bit daunting. The testers say this is just utterly brilliant, though. So I'm looking forward to having a go at it. There's not a lot of information in this grid. That's the first thing I will say. But anyway, I will read you the rules in a moment or two, and we'll have a look at those. What other news do I have for you? Thank you for all the belated birthday wishes. Some of you have discovered it was my birthday last week. I appreciate all of the many happy returnses. I appreciate all the anagrams you've been coming up with of my name. I don't think anyone's come up with anything better than a smooth ninny, which is what Mark came up with. But some of you have been indulging in coming up with anagrams of Mark's name as well. And my favourite was, what was it? Flakier Fogdom. I will refer to Mark whenever I speak to him anymore from now on as Flakier Fogdom, which I think it gives him a certain lordly quality, which he definitely doesn't deserve. Anyway, that's that. What else do I have to tell you about? There's some birthdays, aren't there? Let me get my list. Birthdays today. Happy birthday to Karen, who has turned 56 today over there in the Netherlands. Now, Karen, I have to apologise because I'm not sure how to pronounce your child's name. I don't even dare give your child a gender because I might get it really badly wrong. I want to say Liui, and Liui did say that they were looking forward to me trying to pronounce their name. There was a hint of glee in the email they sent us. So I'm going to go for a son called Liui, because it sounds a bit like Louis to me, which would be a name that I would be able to be confident about. But Liui, if I have got your name wrong, or I've said you're a son when you're a daughter, I really apologise. I didn't mean to. And anyway, Karen, I hope you have a great day. And then Kira, at least Kira, I'm fairly confident how to pronounce. Kira, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your boyfriend Jake wrote to us. And Kira, I hope you have a day filled with chocolate cake. Lance, your fiancée Brooke wrote to us and told us that you were getting married in September. And Lance, I understand you're a big fan of the channel. Well, we're delighted to hear that. And Lance, I hope all of the wedding preparations are going well. I can tell you that Maverick's preparations for taking off have apparently gone well, because Maverick is sailing past the window as we speak. And then finally to Tom, who's turned 19 today. And we had an email, Tom, from three of your friends, Asta, Joe and Arushi, who told us that you're having cupcakes with your face on them today. Chocolate cupcakes, I believe, as well. And they have bought you a present. I hope I'm not revealing any secrets here, but it's a Sudoku cube. I've got a picture of it. Let me find it. There we go. Now that looks, first blush, I thought it might be a cushion, a strangely shaped cushion, but I think it's actually, is it a Rubik's Cube? That looks incredibly difficult if it's a Rubik's Cube. But anyway, you must let us know. You must let us know how quickly you can do it. Anyway, sounds like you're having a good birthday, Tom, and that's fantastic. So enjoy. And then the only other thing I need to mention before we get cracking with HalfBakedLunatic's puzzle is our Patreon reward for June, which is over there at the moment on Patreon. It is the Planet's Sweet Sudoku Hunt. We have been delighted with the feedback so far. Lots of you managing to finish a Sudoku hunt for the first time, and many of you sending in your correct entries, complete with a planetary fact. And today's planetary fact is from Tina Colada about the planet Uranus. Now, is it Uranus? Is it Uranus? I'm going to say Uranus. And the fact from Tina, who's over there in Germany, is that apparently if you lived an average lifespan on Uranus, so let's say 80 years, but you lived it on one of the poles of Uranus, then you would spend 20 consecutive years of that life in darkness at some point because of the tilt of Uranus and the fact that Uranus, I think Uranus takes 80 years or something to actually orbit the sun. I hope I've not got that fact wrong and misquoted Tina, but that's fairly startling. And I'm not sure if that means that maybe that also means you have to spend 20 years just in the light. Just think how much Red Bull you need to do that. It would be a strange life indeed, a buzzy life. Anyway, let's get on now with Half-Baked Lunatic's puzzle. Thank you for the fact, Tina. And these are the rules of Sherlock's advice to the good Dr. Watson. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along palindrome lines, which must be these lines in the grid, read the same forwards or backwards. So let's have a think about how that might work. So if this started 1, 2, 3, it would have to end 3, 2, 1, so that when we read the palindrome from this end, it reads 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, and when we try and read it from the other end, it reads exactly the same, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. It is therefore palindromic, which is sort of its nature. So that's good, and that's what we need to achieve. Now, the digits in a cage must sum to the small clue in the top left corner of the cage. We don't need a rule today about digits not repeating in cages because actually normal Sudoku rules prevents any of these cages from having a repeated digit. So what we're being told is that those 3 cells sum to 22, those 3 sum to 15, etc. And there is only one more rule, which is slightly worrying, and that rule is that orthogonally adjacent cells do not sum to either 5 or 10. So let's look at those 2 squares. What we can't put in those squares are things like 1, 4. 1 and 4 add up to 5. There is a knowledge bomb for you, and that's jolly naughty. 2 and 3 would also add up to 5. 1 and 9 would add up to 10. So these sorts of combinations are not going to work, and we mustn't do them or we'll get the puzzle wrong. Do have a go at the puzzle though. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. Let us see if we can be... Are we going to be Sherlock Holmes's today or Dr. Watson's? I do not know, but I know which I hope I'm going to be. Did I say the way to play is to click the link under the video? Sherlock Holmes would already know the answer to that. But anyway, now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, I think I've got to start with these palindrome lines because they are screaming at me rather. Yeah, and these lines, both of these lines, are going to force a form of roping on the puzzle. And this is something we sometimes see with exactly this shape of line in thermometer Sudoku or Renban Sudoku. It works slightly differently. If this was a Renban, those 3 digits would have to go there, and that would cause roping. But here, these 3 digits, whatever they are, they have to repeat on their palindrome, don't they? So by Sudoku, they have to go in those 3 squares. And what's this phrase roping I use? Well, once this pattern is established, you can ask questions like, where do those 3 digits go in this box? And those 3 digits, they now can't go there. They're not green, because green otherwise would be repeating. If any of these were green, obviously there would be two of that digit in box 3. So these are not green, so they have to go there, which means they have to go there in box 9. And then we can add another stripe of our strange flavoured ice cream there in these 3 cells. So you get this pattern emerging. Now, okay, well what I can see that's doing is it's making orange restricted. Okay, all right, let me explain what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing that these 15 cages, if we think about how you make 15 in a Sudoku domino, it's either 6, 9 or 7, 8. But now whatever this one is gets transposed onto this palindrome, which means that these 5 cells in box 6 contain the digits 6, 7, 8 and 9. And that means that the orange cells cannot be 6, 7s, 8s and 9s. So they've got to be low digits. When I say low, I mean at least they don't contain any high digits. And that look is putting pressure on this cell. That needs to be at least a 3, because I know that the highest I can make 3 digits add up to in Sudoku would be 987, which sum to 24. So I need at least a 3 here. 5. Yes, okay, there's definitely... Right, this is good. Okay, there is definitely a 9 in those 3 cells now. Because even if this is 5 and these 3 digits are as low as they can possibly be, they still have to sum to 22 in 3 digits. And 22 in 3 digits, those of you who do a lot of killer Sudoku will know it's either 967 or 958. It's definitely got a 9 in it. That's definitely got a 9 in it. There's no 9 in the top of this cell, so there's no 6 in the bottom of this cell. Okay, and then we've got to do the same thing here, have we? Because we've got exactly the same roping going on in the final, or the first 3 columns, I suppose. I just looked at them a second. So those 3 digits have got to go there, have got to go here. We'll use yellow. These, oh, should we go grey or red? Oh, no, red's awful. We'll go grey. Okay, so what's that doing? That is... That's really not doing very much, I don't think. Yellow, there is a secret of Sudoku that will tell you the value of those yellow cells. Now, the secret is something I only tell my favourite people, but of course I'm going to let you in on it, just don't tell anyone else. The secret is that any complete column, any complete row, any complete box of a Sudoku, by the rules of Sudoku, contains the digits 1 to 9 once each. So I can work out the total for any box of a Sudoku. It must be 45, which is the triangular number for 9. It's what you get if you add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 together. Now, if I know that this box adds up to 45, but I know purple digits add up to 15, I know the grey digits add up to 15, then these must add up to 45 minus 2 lots of 15, which is 15. So every single stripe here adds up to the same value. But the problem with that is that value is awfully average. So if you were going to ask what's the average value of a 3-cell Sudoku cage, you would say, well, what's the average value of the Sudoku digit? And that's a 5. So the average value of 3 Sudoku digits, or 3 averagely valued Sudoku digits, is going to be 15. I am stuck. Okay, what do we do now? Let's have a... It's probably this cage, I think. This cage feels the weak point. You don't have to have an 8 in this, because if that's 5, that could be 9, 6, 7. There's got to be... Oh, there's the other rule, isn't there? Hang on. There's the other rule about... I haven't thought about the domino rule. Right, it's going to be the domino rule. So we can't have dominoes in this puzzle that sum to 5 or 10. What's that doing? I don't think I know, actually, sorry. I mean, I can obviously see that within the bounds of orange, I couldn't have... You know, if I was to put a 2 in the middle of that, neither of these could then be a 3. But look, there's no reason that they would have to be a 3, so I don't think that's an enormous restriction, actually. Oh dear. Okay. Well, okay, I'm being completely un-Sherlock Holmesian at the moment. I'd quite like to be Moriartyan as well, actually. Not because I want to be evil, but I always quite admired Moriarty. I mean, Moriarty's intellect, I should say. Okay. No, I've got nothing. I don't know what's going on at all. This is now getting to the point where it's going to be embarrassing soon. And I don't think... that is lovely. Right, I've got something. Oh, I mean, I don't know if this does... It does one thing. It gets rid of one option from this square. Alright, I'm going to tell you something about this square. And see if you can work out why. I'm going to tell you it relates to these three columns. And I don't think that cell can be a 5. I'm not actually sure what I've discovered does more than that, but I can tell you that square is not a 5. And see if you can work out why. Agad Mator style. I'll give you a few moments. For those of you who managed to do it, congratulations. So the question I was asking myself then, I was thinking about the negative constraint, about not having dominoes that add up to 5 or 10. And wherever the 5 goes in one of these boxes, let's imagine there's a 5 in purple. What do the other two cells in that cage add up to? Well, they add up to 10, because we know that overall those three squares add up to 15. But what does that mean for how that cage has got to be configured? If those two cells that add to 10, those two digits that add up to 10 in this cage can't be together, well, it means the 5 is going to have to chaperone them. It's going to have to play gooseberry and make sure that they don't get too cuddly together. So the 5 is going to have to live in this cell. But the same logic applies to grey. Grey adds up to 15, so if grey had a 5 in it, the 5 would have to be in the middle and play gooseberry again. Yellow, it's exactly the same. Yellow, although it doesn't have an explicit cage number, we worked out it added up to 15. So again, if yellow contains the 5 sits in the middle. So what this actually means is that 5 is in each of these boxes. That is a valid pencil mark, and therefore 5 is not here. And that means this has to have 8 in it now, because now the absolute maximum value of this is 4, which means this is at least 6, 8, 9. So this is definitely from, right, so this is definitely from 6, 7, 8, and 9. That means I've got a quadruple in row 8 now. So everything else in this row is low. I was about to say maybe we should change our colour scheme, but I don't think I'm quite at that stage yet. Those two can't add up to 5. Oh, right, blue. That digit, and that digit are the same. Because blue's other digits are high. This is lovely. So we get blue digits there. That digit's got to be there. Oh, no, that's not a pencil mark I'm prepared to get. Now, Flakier Fogdom would make that pencil mark up here with the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9 into every one of the cells. But a smooth ninny won't do that. Now, hang on, what's that digit now then? Oh, right, okay, that digit is a low digit. And do I know what it is the next question. And the answer is, I don't know. Okay. You can nearly do some things here actually using the negative constraint, because this square is a 1, 2, 3 or 4, but it's touching 3 high digits. So obviously, let's imagine this was a 3 for a moment. That would mean none of those squares could be the 7, because we'd create a naughty domino. So that digit pairs up with that square actually, which means it's that can't be a 4. That's got to be a 1, 2 or a 3, because this let me use the line tool to show you. Those 2 squares in this box must add up to 10. Which is potentially interesting. That's okay. That's because there's an 8 in there. There's not an 8 in there either. Oh, okay. So this is not 7 either. So this is now not 3 either. So this is down to 1 or 2. We are actually getting somewhere here, are we? Is that famous last words? Come on, Simon. What does this mean? There's a 6 or a 7 in here, and a 6 or a 7 here. These 2 cells can't add up to 5. They look like they want to, but they can't. Because that would be a naughty domino. Okay, sorry. Now I'm stuck again, am I? So these 2 are in a relationship that add up to 10. These are not in a relationship that add up to 5. 5 is definitely over here. 5 is not there. 5 is not there by Sudoku. Just using the fact there must be 5s in these squares. We know there's an 8 and a 9 in there. I'm going to take that out because that's just distracting me. That square, okay, that square is now, we know those 2 are the same, don't we? Right, so what is that digit? Is that a good question? It might be. How could this be a 3 or a 4 is my question. It can't be a 3 or a 4. Because if it was a 3 or a 4, this 1, 2 pair would have touched both the digits 3 and 4 in a domino, that domino and that domino, and one of them would have added up to 5. So that is not a 3 or a 4. That is a 1, 2 or a 5. And that might be interesting. Oh, I don't know. Hang on. What's going on here? I think we've got to play games in this box with all of the various combinations. And try and figure out if we can. So the most flexible digit in this box is 5. 5 can literally go next to anything because it can't form a domino that adds up to 10 or to 5 because it can't partner up with itself or 0. So 5 is fine. Right. So here is a deduction. Don't know what it's worth, but I'm going to share it with you. How could these 2 digits... Yeah, if these two, if this was, let's look at those 4 digits actually together. If these digits didn't include a 5, they would be a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, and one of these digits would be a 1 or a 2, and would have to be the complement of this digit, whatever it was. Imagine this is a 3. This 3 would definitely be touching the 2 in one of those positions. If this was a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, it would have to be. So one of those digits has to be a 5, which means that digit is not a 5. Now, that digit... What does that mean? I don't know. Oh dear, this is complicated. There's definitely a 5. So there's definitely a 5 in orange now. This is not a naughty domino. Oh, no, hang on. We can go further than this, can't we? I can take that logic further. I'm just being slow. I blame the heat. Yeah, I think actually I've got to be careful. This is a 3, 4, 5 triple, isn't it? Because whatever this is, it cannot be in dominoes with both 1 and 2. And if 1 and 2 were an option for these two squares, it would be in a domino with 1 and 2, because it would be in a domino there and a domino in either of those positions. So this is forced, and that's made that a 5. And now I've got a 3, 4 pair here. I've got a digit in the puzzle. 5 is in one of three cells, whoopsie, in row 9 by Sudoku, using the 5 pencil mark here. I think that was very slow solving. I think that was completely obvious now I think about it. I was just my brain was being naughty and recalcitrant. Now I've got a 1, 2 pair here, so that square... yeah, this square's got to be a 6 or a 7. Because if that was an 8 or a 9, it would form a domino here, because these two are in a pairing. So imagine that was 1, 9. If this was from 8 or 9, that would be 2, 8, and it would form a domino. So that doesn't work. So now I've got a 6, 7 pair here, which means that's not 6 or 7. So now I've got an 8, 9 pair in row 9. So I've got 8 and 9 in these squares in our sort of funny flavoured Neapolitan ice cream on the left. And the 6s and 7s. I'm actually just going to put an X on that boundary to keep reminding me that these two digits can't be in a 5 relationship. The 6 and the 7 are hidden away from the 3 and the 4 though, so that's annoying. But now, do I know? No, I don't know. I thought I was going to know. I thought I was going to know something about... I mean, I know those two digits add up to 15. But we can't apportion them into those two squares. That one could be in either the top square or the bottom square. But look, now we can get rid of 1s and 2s in all of those squares. So wow. So that digit and that digit are the same. Let's label those up. Let's use letters. So those are the digit A. And this digit, which we'll say is B, is a green digit, so it's in one of those squares, but B must not be here, because it would form a naughty domino if B was here. So B, and by palindrome, B is up here. So if B was there, B would be 8, because it couldn't be 9, and that would force this 22 cage to be 6, 7, 9. If B's here, but B could be there and there. If B's there and there, that's not doing so much. What about that digit then? So let's call that digit C. C is in one of those. What's it not allowed to be next to? It's not allowed to be next to that digit, which I'll call D, because those two must add up to 10. So that's D is in one of those squares. So C, the problem is that they could be offset. They could be in a diagonal relationship. Do we know? Ah, I know that's not C, I think. Oh no, hang on, is that right? Or is... Ah no, I've got to be careful here. I've got to be careful here. That's rotten. I equated those two in my head. That's not true, is it? Just there's no palindrome in orange. It's not like these have to have the same position in orange. So that one could be there. Because I was thinking that these two do add up to 5, and that's true. Those two do add up to 5. But I don't know whether that is actually there. Ah, you rotten thing. Oh, okay. So hang on. I do know that digit is in there. Oh, right. I'm going to come back to this cage now. This is fascinating, by the way. It is a very weird puzzle. That's what one of the testers said. They said it was weird, and it is weird, but in a good way. Right. We said there were an 8 and there are an 8 and a 9 in this 27 cage. What do 8 and 9 add up to? They add up to 17. So what do the other two digits in the 27 cage add up to? They add up to 10. So, what would happen if this was not an 8 or a 9? It would be a 6 or a 7, and that domino would add up to 10. So that's got to be, let's go back to numbers, whoopsie, that's got to be an 8 or a 9 to stop us having a naughty domino here. And but we don't know, do we? We don't know which... We don't know whether that's B or D. We know, okay, we could do some more labeling. A, B, C, D. Let's make that E. And E, I do know, is in there because this one can't be in there. So that's got to be F then. Now, can we apportion? Yes, oh, I see. Right, no, hang on. Am I going to make that F? I'm not going to make that F because I've realised that actually, because I know that E and that digit add up to 10, I should label that F. E and F add up to 10, which means these two add up to 10. So they can be G and H. And now, I'm not sure if this is useful, but we have at least in this box, I think, pinpointed a lot of relationships. We know that A and B add up to 10, C and D add up to 10, E and F add up to 10, and G and H add up to 10. We know that A and F, well, we know A and H add up to 5, and C and F add up to 5. So in this box, I've got to be careful with C and F. C is here, but we don't know where F is. Ah, no, I don't. Actually, I'm now thinking I haven't taken this forward. E is down there. Oh, sorry, folks. I think I've gone off on the wrong track here. I don't see how I can apportion oranges more intelligently. What is it then? I don't think I can get more out of the Neapolitan ice cream. It just doesn't feel restricted to me. Let's check that. Where does 1 go? Or what does 1 go with in these boxes? So 1's got a choice. 1 could be. Let's just use this box to play around with. If 1 needs 2 digits to add up to 14, so that's either 5, 9 or 6, 8. So 1 could be with the 5. So this one would look something like this: 1, 5, 9. And then the 8 would have to go with 2 digits that add up to 7, which couldn't be 1, 6 or 2, 5. So they would be 8, 3, 4. And those digits are not under any pressure. You can't make a 10 domino, you can't make a 5 domino. So 8, 3, 4 and 2, 6, 7 would be the other domino. That's absolutely useless, sorry. Okay, and then if you partner the 1 with the 6 and the 8, let's just do that and check what that looks like. So, and obviously this could be in any order because we don't have the 5 to separate anything. So now the 9 has to go with 2 and 4 because it can't go with 1 and 5. So we'd have 2, 4, 9. There would be well, you'd have to keep them apart, and the 1 and 9 apart. And the other domino would be 3. Oh, I see. It would be 3, 5, 7. So that the other domino is the one with the 5 in it. So that would have 5 with 3, 7 around it. That's which obviously in this little possible arrangement of this stuff couldn't work because we'd have the 2 and the 3 and the 1 and the 9 together. This feels a bit more constrained. Also, I noticed as we were doing that, the 5 always sits between odd digits. So we started it by thinking about 1, 5 and 9 being a possibility. But it seems that when you use the other version of a 14 sum, you always get 3 and 7. You then get 3 and 7 partnering the 5. Now, sorry, I realise I'm just corpsing here. I'm just trying to think about that. I've got to put... So I'm going to have 3 odd digits. So, right, so wherever the 5 goes... That doesn't feel like it's going to work. Hang on a minute. I'm now... No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Wow. Okay, I can do something with this. I think. Because... Right, here's my thinking. Let's work through it together and see if my thinking makes any sense. I've worked out that somewhere one of these stripes consists of 3 odd digits vertically with a 5 in the middle, and the 5 is in the middle of either a 3-7 pair or a 1-9 pair in some arrangement. We don't know how they're arranged, but we know that must be true. So in this box, I'm looking at this domino, which I know is not allowed to add up to 5. So if this is 3, this is 1. If this is 4, this is 2. Now 4, 2 is interesting because that knocks out all even digits from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 option. It would make all 3 of those digits odd. But we know that one of these stripes is odd digits as well, don't we? So we know that there would be some cross in this box that might look like that, that, or that contains all of the odd digits. But it can't work. It can't work because the odd digits that would be in the horizontal would be 1, 3, and 5. Let's just show you. If this was 2, this was 4, and this is 1, 3, 5. Let's say this is the 5. Oops, no, I want to go to the numbers. 1. Well, what do we know those two squares are? And we don't know what they are, except we know they're either a 1, 9 pair or they're a 3, 5 pair, and they can't be either because 1 and 3 are in those two positions. That's weird, actually. I suspect. I wonder, was it yesterday? Oh, yesterday, which was a wonderful puzzle by Oddly Even. I reached a point in the puzzle and I found some really beautiful logic that I thought I was so scared it was too hard for the puzzle, because the puzzle to that point had been really quite approachable, and it was gorgeous stuff, but it was a step up, and I was worried that I'd missed something. And Oddly Even kindly enough wrote in the comments to say no, that was the intended step. Now this has that feel about it to me. I really love the idea of making an odd cross in this box that cannot be filled, but I have a suspicion there is an easier way of working this out. But we're certainly taking it because it's totally logical and it's massive, because now we've just proved that it's not a 4-2 pair. So this simply cannot be a 4. So that has to be a 3. And if that's a 3, that's a 1. That's a 9, because we know those two added up to a naughty number. This is 2, so this is 8. That's 4. I suppose the 15 cage then disambiguates the 6 and the 7. So we know that this is a 6-9 pair up here. We know that this is a 1. So we've got 1. Oh, hang on. No, hang on. What have I done wrong here? Something's gone wrong. Because I should have roping. Did I put 6-9 in there? I put 6-9 in there, looking at those two. They're blue, Simon. You are an imbecile, man. Sometimes I do worry about myself. Right, look, that's better. 1, this is 269. I turned into a full-baked lunatic for a moment. 269. Okay, so these are 178. Now, what we don't know... Well, we do know some things, actually. I was going to say we do know that the 1 can't go next to a 9. And that's on a palindrome, so that goes up there. We know that 9 is not there, so that's a 2-6 pair. We get 9 on the green palindrome. We get 9 on the green palindrome. We get... What was B? I can't remember what B was. B... Oh, B was the 9. B was the 9. B was the digit that accompanied A, and I think I labelled that A and that B. I might be wrong about that, but I have a feeling that's right. So 9 and 1 have to be kept apart, which they're always going to be now. So that can't be 3. Because that would obviously create a naughty domino there. So that's 4 or 5. That can't be a 6-4 pair. I've got no way of representing that using anything sensible. This is 7, 8. Let's get rid of the D. Is there some way we can lock that out? I don't know. Okay, okay, right, we've got some things going on though that I can do at the bottom, presumably. Yeah, let's have a look at how this is going to work now. We've now got 2, 4 and 5 over here. So, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, that is interesting. So we are in a 951 world, I want to say. Because what am I going to partner the 9 with in box 7? 9 needs 2 digits that add up to 6 in order to get to 15. So, and it can't have 2 and 4 now, because 2 and 4 are horizontal. We need a vertical stripe that's got to add up to 15. So it's 951. And the 9, right, which means there's a 1 down here by Sudoku, because the 9's up here, the 5's here, so the 1 is down here, so there's a 1 over there in one of those 3 digits. So we've got 951 in one strip. Should I make an aid memoir about this or not? 951, so the 8 needs 7 more, which is 834. The 8 is at the top, so the 8 goes with 4, and there's a 3 at the bottom. So there's 843, 951, and 7 must be 762. So the 2 is in the middle. So the 7 by Sudoku is on the bottom. There we go. We've done something. 137, 689 at the top. Yeah, this is lovely. Absolutely beautiful. Because now 1, 3 and 7, well, 3 and 7 add up to 10, and I've got to be chaperoned. So that's the one which we know goes with 5 and 9. There we go. Done it. Well, when I say done it, I haven't done the whole puzzle, but that's huge. Yeah, okay. So again, now we can just fill 5s in these squares. These are 1s and 9s. No, they're not. I can improve upon that here. There's a 9 looking at that one. So that's 1, that's 9. That's 1, that's 9 using this. This is so clever. I cannot tell you how clever this is. That's not a 1 anymore. So, ooh, right, now there's a virtual 7-8 pair in those 4 squares. Because the 22 gauge must have 7 or 8 in it, because it's either 967 or 958. So it will find a pair there. Right, 5s come out of all these squares. And let's just work something out now. How do we do this? How do we make more progress? We will say I don't know. Come on. Oh, see, I don't know if that... Oh, look, I can do... Yes, of course, this is a palindrome, so why don't we take advantage of that at least? Don't know if that's going to be... I just... Okay, I don't understand. I've made all this progress and I've just come to an absolute dead halt again. It's going to be something like, you know, looking at that domino, you know, and seeing, oh, look, that could add up to 5. I mean, if we knew what that was, we might be able to limit that digit. Again, if this was an 8, that couldn't be a 2. I can see that. I can see it, but it doesn't help me. In fact, look, if that was 967, we get 2 and 8 there. Oh, sorry, I'm now stuck again, aren't I? What is it then? Oh, no. I was about to say 1 in the middle box. It certainly isn't restricted. 9 in the middle box is in one of 3 places. Can we disambiguate anything here? 7s, 8s and 9s. No. I'm going to fully pencil mark 1, 3 and 4 into these squares. No, that's it. You see, it's exactly that. You fully pencil mark. Now I can see, which I couldn't see before, that's got to be a 3. Because they've got the 1-4 domino possibility here, which must not be allowed to come to fruition. So we've got to keep the 1 and the 4 apart. We might well have the same thing down here. What have we got? 2, 5, 6. No, that's not so good. That can't be 6. It would be next to 4. Oh, that can't be 7. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's it. Look. Now look at this one. We can't put 7 next to 3. So the 7 gets placed in this box, which is a little bit of a win. No. Oh. Ah. Okay. So what are the most restricting digits then? Ones can't be next to... Oh, one can't be next to 9. Oh, I see. Right, okay. Where does 4 go in this row? That's quite a good question. 4 could never have gone in a 22 cage, and it can't go next to a 1. So I think 4 is there. That's huge. So 4, 3, 5 go into the grid. That is huge, because that 4 can't be next to 6. So that's 2, that's 6. That's on the palindrome, so 2 and 6 go in. That gets me the other palindrome. Here we go. 8 we said had to go with 4 and 3. So it's got to look like that, which means this is 7, 2, 6. I'm just going to write it in. I can't see immediately how to restrict it. So let's just fill everything in, and then we can work on what we can't put next to things. That can't be 2. It would be next to 3. That can't be 6. It would be next to 4. That can't be 2. It would be next to 8. So the 3 and the 8 work beautifully and give me a 2 here. That gives me a 3 here, look, by Sudoku. 4, 5 pair, which apparently isn't resolved. Oh, can we do the 7 and the 8? Yes, the 2 stops the 7 and the 8 working. We can't put 2 next to 8. So now I know what those digits are. They are 1, 6, and 7. Let's put those in. I don't think there's any problem with that though. What about... 3 can't go next to 7, so 6 and 7 go in. And as a result of that, we can say the following. Come on, work something out, Simon. That's not 7. It would be next to 3. Oh, that can't be 2. It would be next to 3. Right, what's going on? Come on, 5 and 6. Okay, that's not 6. That's not 3. That's not 4. We could... Yeah, we might be able to get a 3 in the corner still. There's only one chance left for it, which is there. It would force that... No, no. Oh, no. It's actually not a 3 in the corner because of this naughty cell. If my pencil marking is correct, that prevents this from being a 3 in the corner. Because it would be next to a 2 or a 7 and create a naughty domino. That's so annoying. Okay, well that does at least give me a digit as compensation for its naughtiness. Now this square, I just noticed, can't be a 7. Because it would be next to 3 in 2 different ways. Now, oh look, I see. So now this 22 cage is done. It's got to be 5, 8, 9. Because it can no longer have a 6 in it. And we know that's not 9. And we know this isn't 8 because it would be next to 2. We know this is 7. And still don't see how to do the 4, 5 over there. It's probably... Oh, yes I do. 6 can't be next to 4. Gosh, Simon. 5 goes here, 4 goes here. Now we're going to get triplicates in the middle boxes. So let's see what we end up with. We end up with 5, 8, 9, which is exactly what we've got above there. That can't be 7 because of this. And here we've got 3, 4, 2, 3, 4 in fact. Ah, that's better. 2, 3 and 4, the 2 and the 3 can't live together, so the 4 has to separate them. Now this can't be 6, or it would be jolly naughty. That 7 can't be next to 3, so 2 and 3 get resolved. The 3 can't be next to 7, so the 7 in the middle of the grid. So often in these puzzles it's 5, but today not so much. Okay, and as a result of this, we will note that I have got a 5, 8, 9 triple there, so that's got to be a 2. Look at that. That can't be 5. So that's, whoops, that's 2. There's probably more we can. I'm sure there's more we can do here. It's a case of negative constraint spottage, which is something about which I know little. I've got another 5, 8, 9 triple there actually. Oh, that's massive. So I get the 6 at the bottom of the grid and a 5 here, and an 8 here and a 9 here. This is good. This is good. Right, here we go. Ah, no. Oh, look, 2 here. There we go. So that's 9, that's 8. Otherwise, we create a naughty domino. That's 9, that's 5, that's 5, that's 8. And we must now be nearly... Yeah, we can't put 9 next to 1. So that does all of this nonsense. Now, in this box... Well, let's look at this column. We need 3 and something. 3 and 4. Yes, can do that. That does the 4 and the 8. The 8 and the 1. Now, 1 by Sudoku goes here. We need 2, 6 and 7. That's 2, that's 6, that's 7, that's 7, that's 2. There we go. I think we've done it. I can't obviously check all the negative constraints. It says the solution is correct, so it probably knows. It probably knows that we've got it right. 53 people have solved this in 8 days, apparently. And I don't know whether that's a lot or a little. I think what I will say is that is magnificent. HalfBakedLunatic. The bit of you that baked that has made a very, very pleasant thing indeed, and a jolly clever thing too. That was fantastic. The idea actually at the start that forces 5 to be in a stripe of one of those 3 is so simple and gorgeous, I cannot tell you. And the way that was used to restrict this box was absolutely sublime. The place I got a bit more stuck was having to think about... It was far from obvious to me. It still feels slightly difficult for me that the 5, wherever it lives, always had to have odd digits above and below it. That was not clear until I thought about it, that would be the case. And I just wonder if I could have got that a different way. I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments how you got on with this. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And you let me know whether I'm Sherlock today or Dr. Watson. Yeah, or Moriarty. Or Mycroft, that's fine too. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.